Hello and welcome to the second round of the Mercedes-AMG Motorsport eRacing competition. My name is Robert Wiesenmüller and today I will be joined by Peter Richie Reichert.
Hello, race fans, or let me say e-racing fans. Round two of this year's e-racing competition has just started. We see already the first cars running here on the Lausitzring, 3.442 kilometers long. This is our timing schedule. 13:45, so 1:45 qualifying will start. Robert, as always, 10 minutes qualifying, 20 minutes race.
Exactly, that is what we have planned today. And we're already in the second round. And last time a few people were wondering, what exactly is this? What is this e-racing competition that we're hosting here with Mercedes-AMG? Well, it's a form of virtual racing. So it's a computer game called Race Room Racing Experience, which all these drivers play and drive. But so it's not real cars, but the drivers are very, very real. 17 online qualifications we have in this race, and they are taking on one of the Mercedes VIP drivers, which
And
is this guy
yeah,
here, Daniel Juncadella.
yeah, Dani Juncadella. Now, in the meantime, he's driving in his real racing life. He's driving GT3 for Mercedes. AMG He will also be taking part next week in the 24 hours at the Nürburgring. Also, guess what, in an AMG GT car. But he's also a very experienced e-racing driver, as we all learned already from him while we were talking to him about that. He is really one of those who has more than like 50 hours of game time in race room racing experience. So this should be an opponent, Robert.
Yeah, exactly. I think he will be one of the guys who's a force to be reckoned with in this race. We often see these people who qualify online that they can put a lot of time into this, and for a lot of these drivers, it's more than a hobby. You know, they are putting exceptionally much work into qualifying for this event and having the opportunity to race, in front of all these people here. And but Dani Juncadella, extremely talented racer and also extremely talented in the e-racing. So I think he can mix it with the online qualifications.
And all our online participants, they get a champion served every weekend this event takes place. In Hockenheim, it was Pascal Wehrlein, the DTM champion of 2015. And now it's Daniel Juncadella. He is the Formula 3 European champion of 2012. Also, he won the grand final of Mercedes-Benz called Stars and Cars in 2015 in beating, for example, Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton at that event, at that venue. So Daniel Juncadella, he's a real force, and I'm really keen to know what he will achieve today.
Yeah, and you already mentioned it's the second race of the season here at the Lausitzring. We had the Hockenheim Ring with Pascal Wehrlein, and then you can see there are a couple more rounds coming up. So we've got 9 races in the season, and then we've got the grand final, because all these online qualifications, they're also racing for something here. If they can make it to and finish the championship in the top 6, they will qualify for the final event, which is hosted at the Hockenheim Ring at the same date where the final event of the DTM season is. And the 6 best drivers will go to the Hockenheim Ring, and they will drive against the whole team of Mercedes-AMG DTM. So it will be a great race, 6 versus
Yeah.
6, and the top 3 drivers will actually win something, because they will win an AMG Driving Academy racetrack package where they can try out a real Mercedes-AMG car.
But let that last round, Robert, let us put it this way: when virtuality becomes reality, that will be the case. So everyone's live on site, and we are doing the real stuff there at Hockenheim. But to get there, you have to perform really very, very well in all those single e-racing races. Let me say it like that. E-racing races is a funny word, but it's a true one. Here you can see it again. We started in Hockenheim. Now we're at the Lausitzring. No, this is already the first
We've got
results,
the
the first time. Now the points.
Yeah, we've
Because
got the championship
Robert, I'm
standings.
sorry, I didn't have my glasses on, so. Oh, and when we are talking about the leader, about Tim Heinemann, he's not there today. Why?
Yeah, unfortunately, for all these virtual racers, it's not as easy as for the real racers who do this as a profession, who do this as a job. Sometimes they've got work commitments that prevent them from racing. So Tim Heinemann, the championship leader, actually qualified for the event, but he can't take place
Okay, that's
because of
bad luck
work.
for him.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. But the guy in second place, Julian Konzern, he's here with us tonight. Well, not tonight, but actually at noon, and he's here. He was the fastest driver in the pre-qualifying session on the leaderboard. So second place in the standings, fastest in the pre-qualifying. I guess we have one of the favorites here.
Yeah, should be one of the favorites, but not the only favorite we have in store here. We also got the third placed man from the first race at the really traditional racetrack near Mannheim in Germany, the Hockenheim Ring. Is this Jack Keithley from Great Britain. He finished third there. He's also third in the championship with 15 points. We also got Kevin Ziggy from Austria here. He finished fourth the last time. Also the fifth placed man, Alexander Dorneden, who was also rather unfortunate in the first race, had a crash, but managed, although he crashed before, he managed to get to finish the race in fifth position. Sixth position, Moritz Löhner, he's also here. Also the seventh placed man from last time, Matthew Williams, and the ninth and the 10th. It's Jan Stange and it's Florian Hasse. And also our friend Urmas Ries from Estonia, he also took part in race number 1 of the season.
Yeah, but also we've got some new drivers here, and
a lot of.
Yeah, and the thing is, every time you can try again, you can also try it yourself to qualify for this event. The best 17 virtual drivers will make it to qualify to the event. And yeah, quite a few new drivers made it. For example, this guy here, Daniel Schön.
Daniel Schön from Germany, one of, let me count it through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new drivers, including Daniel Juncadella. It's 8 rookies at this second round at the Lausitz Ring. And you can also see the characteristics of the track. It's rather different than the one we had 2 weeks ago. It's a rather curvy track with a lot of bumps in it, and only one real straight, and also only one place where you can really overtake your opponent without being too cruel to him. That's end of the start and finish straight, this point where just Jack Keithley got through.
Yeah, and we can already see the first times coming in the qualifying session, and Jack Keithley, we just saw coming through the first corner, he actually takes the provisional pole position.
Yeah, it's a time of 1:16.581 compared to the real stuff we saw like 3 hours ago in the qualifying of the real, let me say, real DTM. It's not a big difference between the drivers then and the drivers here. Jack Keithley, 1:16.581, let's say 1:16.5, and the pole time a few hours ago by Robert Wickens, also in a Mercedes, was 1:16.2. So this is a real small margin.
Definitely is. And we still can see that not all of the drivers have set times. Only 14 drivers currently on the board. Only 6 minutes left, so they definitely need to hurry up if they want to set a lap time in this qualifying session.
Yeah, you cannot afford to waste too much time. Florian Hasse, he's now in 8th position, and we follow him. All the cars are surprisingly Mercedes-Benz AMG C63 cars in the actual liveries of the DTM cars. So that means, for example, and if you ask yourself maybe, why are there 6 pink cars driving along? Because in real life, Mercedes brings in 2 cars in that livery, so 2.3 makes 6. We saw a short picture of Daniel Juncadella, who's at the moment 12th, so he's not the last. So you can see, all the e-drivers can see, the experienced e-drivers can see, they got a real opponent with Daniel Chukatea.
Yeah, and you can see what I find even more impressive, the times. I mean, he now dropped down to 13th, but we've got 15 cars all within 1 second. So extremely, extremely close here in this qualifying session.
And we also got 18 cars here at the eRacing competition at the qualifying. Earlier ago, I mentioned already, there was 18 cars within 0.9 seconds. So there's still a role model left for the eRacing drivers, but I'm sure they're gonna make it. I'm sure that 1:16.536 now is the new best lap time. Will not be the final word. Kevin Ziggy Rebernack from Austria, from Felix Austria, he is leading now.
Yeah, pretty impressive lap from Kevin Ziggy, who was really close to the podium in the first race, then eventually didn't make it onto the podium, but he finished in 4th position, so he's in a good position in the championship, especially now that Tim Heinemann is not there. And we can see another change. There it is, Jack Keithley takes the pole away from him.
Once again, 1:16.498 now. The new target time for all his opponents. We got 18 cars in the field, but at the moment we only see 16 who got a timed lap already on the board.
Yeah, I think Benitez is missing at the moment. Unfortunately, sometimes it can happen for these drivers that they've got internet connection problems.
Yeah,
so these are the technical errors of the eRacing world. So all these cars, they will work perfectly the whole race, but sometimes when you locally don't have the best connection, then you might not be able to join the race.
Miguel Mercedes from Portugal. He's the best at the moment, the best one driver who was not participating in race number 1. So let's call him a rookie now for this season. It's his first run, but he's showing rather impressive style here.
Yeah, I mean 5th place on his first race, that's super impressive.
I fully agree, Robert. And now he crosses over the line and starts his next timed lap. You can see the clock running. The Lausitzring also parted in 3 sectors. The first one is around about 25 seconds long, 26. The second one is the shortest of the 3 timed sectors. And then you have to find your performance, especially in the last one, who's the longest. This is Miguel Mercedes, although it's signed out as being Paul Di Resta. But that man, the man from Scotland, will take part then only at the live race at the last venue in Hockenheim in the middle of October.
Exactly. You can see it's the same livery, the TV Spielfilm car that Paul Di Resta uses in the real DTM. And we can see some changes at the front of the field. Julian Konzern just parks his car in the pit lane here. He moved up to 4th position, but Urmas Rees, the Estonian driver, into 3rd position. He was already there at the first event, but it didn't go according to plan. He was way back in the field, actually. And now, he actually spun and goes back to the pits. But it doesn't matter, because 3rd place in qualifying is pretty good performance from him. And you can see
Yeah, pretty nice, I wanted to say.
And you can see the clock at the top left of your screen.
Yep.
And the thing with the clock is that once the timer runs out, the qualifying is immediately over and you cannot finish your lap. That means you have to finish all the lap times before the timer runs out. So all these drivers here have to hurry up to get a lap time in. And Jack Keithley actually won't get another full lap in. So with whatever time he crosses the line, this will be the lap time that counts for him. I mean, he's currently in pole position. He doesn't have to improve. But yeah, it would still put him in a safe position. No, he won't. He lost a lot of time.
Yeah, knowing already that this time of 1:16.498 should be enough for pole position. Now Jan Stange is coming along. He's also one of those who took part at Hockenheim. There he finished 9th. Now he's in 12th position. But he will be running really running out of time. Now he's in the last sector. This will be really, it will be, maybe time runs out, maybe not.
I think he will just make it, and let's see if this is an improvement. He's on a personal best, crosses the line, and he stays in 12th position, so not the time that he wanted.
Yeah, and qualifying is over right now. These are the results. Jack Keithley in pole, Kevin Siggy in second, then Urmas Ries, very impressive move upwards. In third position, Julian Konzern, Florian Hasse, Moritz Löhner, Miguel Mereyes, Jaroslav Honzig, Daniel Schön, Alexander Dorniden, and the rest you saw. Now it went away too quick for me to read all the names.
Yeah, now it's just a very short cooldown period for these drivers. They've just got 50 seconds left where they can prepare their car, and then it goes immediately into the race. 20-minute race, no pit stops. Just very hard racing we're expecting here at the Lausitzring.
And when you see the cars popping away, then they are popping over to the starting grid. Maybe the camera is moving to that point as well, to the starting grid. It's just over the wall on the left side.
Yeah, we're waiting for Nikita Shaposhnik here to join the grid before we can see the whole field. Got 10 seconds left, and there you can see it. Now you can see all the cars lined up. Very, very wide grid here.
And the one on the right, that's you? The one with the blue shirt.
They're ready now, and the lights go on.
And when the lights extinguish, race is on. Now it's green, and oh yeah. It's also an issue. Don't have wheel spin, and the first
crash in the back.
Field.
Kevin Siggy takes the lead here at the start of the race from Jack Keithley, but there's another car off in the background.
Yeah, this happens at the Lausitzring, and there's one going wide over the grass.
Lots of drivers already in trouble at the start of the race. Steven Westerhof down in 16th position, and also our gentleman driver Daniel Juncadella. Oh, there's another car stranded on the track. What's happening here? Lots of drama in the opening laps, and that's Urmas Ries.
Lots of drama.
Urmas Ries.
Right, he dropped back into 15th position. And it looks like maybe his car is not running smooth anymore.
No, a very chaotic start here, and unfortunately Urmas Ries is one of the big losers at the starting period of the race. But let's go back to the front of the field.
Yeah, Kevin Siggy, last word to Urmas Ries from my side in this moment. He just showed an impressive qualifying performance, so maybe, and I'm really trustful that he will make his way up again. Maybe not onto the podium, but into secure points.
Yeah, we already lost one of the drivers. Nikita Shaposhnik is not in the race anymore, so we're down to 15 cars now. On board with Kevin Siggy Revanak here in the first corner, and you can see Jack Keithley, the silver car behind him.
Yeah, a little bit furious, Jack Keithley, as I can imagine, because he had pole position, the best of all starting grid places, but he lost it. Kevin Siggy just had the better start. He was more spontaneous on his controller, and then he passed by Jack Keithley, and he wants to correct that mistake in hunting the Austrian now.
Yeah, and the guy who was in first place in the leaderboard, Julian Konzern, he's now in third position, and he's the guy who's known for his consistency in the races. So he's not too far away of the two leaders. Let's see if he can, make some headlines in this race.
In real motorsport, we say the position or the situation of Kunze right at the moment is sitting in the lounge seat, because he can watch what the two ahead of him are doing, and once one of them makes a mistake or has a little problem, he will be there and benefit from that. But he don't have to be active at the moment, he can just watch what's happening.
Yeah, now you can see Jack Keithley. Now the DRS is active. He used the DRS, now it closes, of course, when he goes onto the brakes. Going a little bit too far over the green area there. But he's right on the back of Kevin Siggy. He wants to lead back.
He's on spot now, Jack Keithley. And the DRS is compared to real life the same. You have to be within 1 second behind the one who's driving in front of you. And then you can use it. One of the wings of your big back wing is opening up and giving you like 8 to 10k more speed.
Yeah, and of course Kevin Siggy doesn't have the DRS, so he has to think of something now.
He has to create his fighting line, as we call it. closing all doors that are on the verge of opening up. He has to control what's happening behind him, to the left, to the right, in every direction. Dani Juncadella already up in 11th. And here we can see him. I would have said no. At the moment, maybe we got a little camera problem. We also got a camera for Dani Juncadella showing his face, how he is like rolling on his steering wheel. Yeah, there he is. He's sitting just here at the lousy string, and he's really, look into his eyes, Robert. He's really concentrated.
Yeah, I think he wants to succeed here, and he's in a good position at the moment. He moved up to 11th, so a good race for him. You can see a little bit of damage at the front of his car, I think, so he might have been involved in the start accident, but afterwards he's really put in a consistent race, and points for the top 10. He's almost in the points.
Almost, only one step left. Dani Juncadella, and there you can see that's a real racing driver. He's always moving the steering wheel, so that makes him a real threat for the ones that are driving in the points at the moment, that are on the points ranking right now. But we still got a quarter of an hour to go, so there can there's as we say in Germany, there's a lot of water running down the Rhine.
Yeah, and I think we just saw a pass around the outside from Matthew Williams against Nick Madsen. That looked really impressive. Madsen took a little bit too much cover. Madsen in the silver file car, the one that's black on one side and silver on the other side. And Matthew Williams, that's the white car ahead. And I think he just passed him around the outside for 7th position. So great move by Matthew Williams here.
We are waiting for the slow motion to come.
Yeah, unfortunately, no slow motion.
just kidding a little bit. But that's the two that are fighting the most right now. In 7th and 8th position, Matthew Williams against Madsen. A British-Danish duel between those two.
Yeah, and we've got also still the battle at the lead, and we missed the change for the lead. I'm sorry for this, but we missed that Jack Keithley has actually taken the lead away from Kevin Siggy. I assume it must have been with the DRS, and look at the gap already, it's almost a second. So Keithley steals away the lead from Kevin Siggy and is back in the position where he qualified.
And Jack Keithley has to run away, pull away from Kevin Siggy, because then staying with a gap under 1 second, this means the next time on the straight, Kevin Siggy can open up his DRS system again, and then he will have all the advantages to overtake. And Jack Keithley is, yeah, maybe that's too harsh, but he's almost on the verge of being defenseless then.
Yeah, you can see Siggy still has the DRS, so the pass must have happened before this lap. And you can see how he's closing in. Late on the brakes, that was maybe a bit too late. Keithley just runs all the way over the area. Yeah, he must be careful that he doesn't get a penalty.
Yeah, the first corner is a crucial one, because it's going 110 degrees to the left, going down also a little bit, and the braking point, to get the right braking point at that part of the track is really, really tricky. This has to be exact on the spot every lap. Otherwise, you are driving too far out, and then you have to jump like a little rabbit over the lawn.
Let's see here, Keithley, he can always open the gap up a little bit in the second part of the circuit. So it seems to have a little bit more pace in his car than Kevin Siggy at this stage. But Julian Konzern in the background, did you see him? I think he's closing up a little bit.
He's closing up a little bit, but only a tiny little bit. And what you said before is very interesting. I think they drive different setups, Jack Keithley and Siggy and Kevin Siggy. Keithley seems to be more on speed with all his parameters on the car, and Kevin Siggy, to me, it looks like he's going more for downforce, to be really fast in the slow corners. Oh, he's closing up here.
He's definitely going for braking on the setup there.
Yeah.
That was risky from him, but he doesn't hit Keithley, so nothing happened here.
Okay, we can say it easier. Keithley is going for the throttle and Siggy is going for the brakes.
Yeah,
and
but
Julian Konzern, you are right, he's really closing in. He's just now not already in a real fighter position, but he's coming closer and closer.
Yeah, very strong race from Julian Konzern. He has stayed out of trouble once again. That's kind of his style. It's the same way how he got the second place in the first event at the Hockenheim Ring. When Keithley and Dornigan collided, Julian Konzern just benefited and took the second position. So he's a very solid, very consistent driver. Doesn't have the best qualifyings, unfortunately, in the series, but I wouldn't count him out here for the race win.
Honestly, Robert, what does qualifying count? The points are made in the race, and that what Julian Konzern is doing is really very impressive. He knows that no matter what chances you have in the race, take the maximum that is possible on that day. He took it with second place in Hockenheim, and he's now doing it with third place here. Would mean, if we already look at the championship table, this would mean that we have a new leader after this race, and that the name of the leader would be Julian Konzern with a second and a third place, meaning having 33 points then, leading the today absent Tim Heinemann, who only has 25.
Yeah, and of course these drivers, they need the points because they need to be in the top 6 to qualify for the final event.
But nevertheless, for every rundown, you have to qualify yourself new. The next race will be in, when I'm right, in 3 weeks' time at the Hungaroring in Budapest. That's a rather similar track. A lot of turns, left and right, and not very much straight. So that's not a track where there's time to relax. You always have to be sharp on the steering. You have to drive with a lot of downforce to be quick in the mostly slow corners. That's the characteristics of the Hungaroring in Formula 1 in earlier times. It was always a procession, one driving after the other. After the first corner, right at the start, you already had, most of the time, you already had the final result of the race, although there were more than 70 laps to go.
Yeah, but in the touring cars on the Hungaroring is actually a really exciting track where you can see hopefully lots of overtakes. We're back on board now with Daniel Juncadella here. You can see him.
Last word to the Hungaroring. It's a fun race for a racer, but it's not very friendly in the question of overtaking.
Talking about overtaking, yeah, look at this. Kevin Siggy on the DRS.
On the DRS and just sticking into his nose into the diffuser of Jack Keithley without touching. So that's a really fair and very hard but very fair maneuver.
You can see him using the DRS here at the back part of the circuit, and he's not even afraid of running with the low downforce here.
But he's sharp on the brakes. Kevin Siggy is not colliding, he's not touching Jack Keithley, so he wants to do it the sportsman way. And now end of this straight. This would be the best point to get out of the shade and get yourself next to your opponent. But Jack Keithley's speed, as we said already, as we mentioned already, his setup is more laid out for speed. And so he has a slight little advantage on the straights. And that maybe makes for the DRS for Siggy relatively worthless.
Yeah, but you could also see that Siggy got a slightly bad exit out of the final corner. Keithley is really sharp there on the exit, and that just gives him the room, that just gives him this half second that he needs to stay ahead of Siggy. You can see Siggy here always closing up in the beginning of the lap, and now he probably has the DRS for the end of his lap. Here from the cockpit, yep, he's on the DRS right now. Closing in on Keithley again, misses the apex a little bit.
But when you watch Keithley, he's really driving exactly his line every lap. There is no difference between one single lap of Jack Keithley. He's just doing the same stuff all the time because it is successful, and if it is successful, you don't have to change it. As we always say, never change a winning team.
Exactly, and you can see his line in the final corner is excellent, but this time Siggy might have a chance.
Siggy, oh yeah. Now he's next to Keithley, and now he passed him. And the break point is okay.
Oh no!
Oh no, come on.
Oh, and Keithley turns him around there, tries to
Yeah.
get the cutback and turns Siggy around. And let's see if Siggy's still in the race. He's just recovering there, getting passed by Williams. And I think that's Honsick on the outside. Bit of contact here once again. Oh, we've seen Paul Di Resta in this corner yesterday in a little incident, but here everything works out well.
But honestly, Robert, what do you think? You mentioned the word penalty earlier on.
Yeah, this is something where Jack Keithley definitely has to think of something that he can tell the race stewards after the race. Incident will be investigated after the race. So yeah, but this didn't look good for him. Tried to get the cutback. Siggy made the move stick, and then Keithley just hit him at the rear quarter of his car. But now Keithley has to defend here.
Yeah, because Julian Konzern, that's what we mentioned before, sitting in the lounge seat. Those times are over now. He sees his chance to attack, already profiting from Kevin Siggy's unfortunately. But now he's in the hunt for Jack Keithley, and maybe if he comes next to him, I'll be very curious to know what happens then in corner number 1.
Oh, close under braking once
Very
again,
close.
But it doesn't go for the move here. This is not over, and you can see a new driver on the podium, Moritz Löhner. We haven't talked about him at all, but look how close he is to the leaders now.
Yeah, he's just on the back bumper of Kunze at the moment. Though this is still an open race, 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, so only 5 minutes, and Keithley has to think of something here, or he can keep his lead. Be the rear view mirror at the top of your screen.
Yeah, very nice. From Jack Keithley.
With the helmet cam we just had there. So Keithley is trying everything to keep his lead. Oh, sliding a little bit there. And now Kunz is right behind him once again for the start finish straight. Has the DRS.
All the guys' tires aren't the freshest anymore.
Exactly.
Now Julian Konzern, maybe the next try now. And Moritz Löhner now sitting in the seat, watching what the two ahead of him are doing. Until this point of the racing, he was very unobtrusive, but now he's showing his dark car more and more. And maybe he already thinks also about maybe winning this race and what to do for that.
And I think Keithley's really struggling on his tires. I mean, look how close Löhner got.
Well, Robert, isn't there one point where you have to just admit that the other ones are faster and you cannot close the doors all the time?
I don't think you can do that with 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. I think Keithley, he will try everything, and you could see he's not afraid of making a little bit of contact here to keep his lead. So I cannot imagine that he's letting any one of these guys through.
No. He just behaves a little bit like a lumberjack.
Rear view here from Jack Keithley, and you can see his wing will not change on the straight, but the wing of Kunze and the wing of Löhner will. And once again, look at this line that he's taking, just a narrow line. It works so much better in the final corner. And
for him?
For him, but I'm surprised.
I'm surprised as well.
That the other drivers are not copying it. You can see Kunze here, he won't be close enough on the braking.
No, he's just creeping under his rear wing, but that's the closest he can get.
Yeah, and in
2
the first
minutes and 45 to go.
And in the first sector here, Löhner is always extremely strong. Lost a little bit of the run here out of the corner, but now he has the DRS, so he should probably close it up once again.
This is the second part of the track, beginning now, moving into the third time sector. One turn to the right rather quickly. And then down this little straight. Keithley still ahead of Kunze and Löhner. This is fourth place Alexander Dorniden, who was also participating in race number 1. He was actually leading the field, but in the end he just finished 5th. Also now on this Sunday, maybe his time to make up some space to the championship lead.
Exactly, and he will be hoping that there's drama ahead. And now we can see Kunze. This time his run was pretty good out of the final corner, so let's see if he can close up with the DRS.
No, Robert.
No. Not enough.
No. This is not possible.
And you can see the timer ahead, so this is the second to last lap, so he's running out of opportunities if he wants to win this race.
Yeah. But Jack Keithley won't give up unless he's got a cramp in his leg, especially in the right one, the one you hit the throttle with. And the situation now, honestly, Robert, is for Julian Konzern is a really difficult one. He has to, on the one hand, trying to get Keithley into a mistake to pass him, but on the other side, he has to watch his rearview mirrors because Löhner is not giving up.
No, the only advantage he has against Löhner is that he also has a DRS, so there's not a clear advantage for Löhner on the straights. So, but of course, every time he tries to make a move against Keithley, he has to consider that he leaves the door open for Löhner, and maybe he gets the first place, but it's also very likely that the second place that he currently has is gone.
Could be, but maybe now this is definitely the last attempt of Julian Konzern and maybe of Moritz Löhner as well against Jack Keithley. Well, I'm not really sure that Keithley can be happy about a victory afterwards because of his, in my eyes, rather unfair maneuver against Kevin Ziggy.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit of extra drama here in this race, and you can see Ziggy in 6th position behind Williams and Dorniden here. He will be so unhappy with this.
Yeah, and he will be, I think he agrees when...
Oh, Löhner!
Oh, come on!
There's Löhner. Löhner made the move on Kunze. That was what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Kunze now with the cutback.
Back because Kunze still got the inner line. That was helpful to him. But Löhner is really fighting his socks off.
He tries to hold on to the outside, but he can't do this.
It's a little bit dangerous what he's doing. Then once both touch, they both spin away.
I think this is it here. So Jack Keithley is turning onto the start-finish straight. And I don't think Löhner can make a move at the back. So we've got Jack Keithley.
No, now we can... At first now, congratulate Jack Keithley to the victory here at the Lausitzring in 2nd place, Kunze in 3rd place, Löhner. But I can imagine that Jack Keithley might visit some race stewards after this race and maybe getting penalized.
Yeah, so very, very unfortunate outcome of the race here. Ziggy was leading for a long time, and then Keithley took the lead. Ziggy tried to take it back, and then there was the contact.
This is fine. Yeah, this is fine arts of motorsports and not wood chopping, as Jack Keithley just showed us in the maneuver against Ziggy. Keithley wins over Kunze, Löhner, Williams, Ziggy in 5th, Honzig in 6th, Dorniden, Madsen, Hasse and Schön. That's the top 10. Daniel Juncadella, we congratulate him very much. Felicitaciones to the young Catalan for 11th place. That's the 1st place, which gives him no points.
Yeah, points down the top 10, and I think we should see a very interesting battle for the championship now developing between Keithley and Kunze, who's been on the podium in both races.
Yeah.
Dorniden actually lost out at the end of the race as well, so he only finished in 7th position. He was running in 5th position for a long time during this race.
So, we saw a rather turbulent race. Oh, and there's a turbulent race driver next to me. It's Daniel Juncadella. Felicitaciones. Position 11. He just needs some headphones, Robert. Maybe you can talk on with Danny now.
Yeah.
Then I give him my headphones because I have to run. There's some real racing still on the line here on the Lausitzring. But nevertheless, it was real big fun this time, even a little bit more than it was in Hockenheim. This was a rather turbulent race. We saw a race winner who might not feel already as being won because, as I mentioned, as I called it, he did some wood chopping in the middle of the race, moving away some opponents. But nevertheless, we will hear us, my voice, you will hear it at the race at Norris Ring, fourth race then of the season. And Robert and Daniel Chunkanea will close out this event now. I say thank you and goodbye. Robert, here's my headphones. Danny, here's my headphones.
Yeah, that was a hard race, I have to say. Didn't have any practice on the track and on this new car, so that was difficult. Just did 3-4 laps before the practice started. So yeah, thanks to the race room guys, it was very cool experience, and they made a setup for me which was good enough to be within a second from the quickest guys. So that was pretty cool and really nice race to watch and to fight against some of the guys. Looking forward to the next one.
Can you tell me through what happened at the start of the race? Because we could see you qualifying, you know, a little bit further back in the field, but then you gained a lot of positions in the beginning and we could see some cars off. Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, actually I didn't have a great qualifying and then the start was very good, but I'm not driving with the inboard camera, so I'm driving with the one at the bonnet. So I didn't see what happened actually. Maybe I had someone next to me on the left. I just got spun around, and sorry if I crashed into someone, but I just got spun around and I didn't really know what happened. And I was at the back again, but yeah, it was cool. You know, after I was following a guy, Daniel Schoen, all the race, trying to catch him, get within the DRS, but I didn't manage. But yeah, it was quite consistent race, and that was quite enjoyable, I have to say.
So 11th position in the end. Do you think that's a good result, or do you want to maybe try again later in the season to get into the points?
Yeah, I mean, for the practice I had, it's okay. You know, I just I didn't know it was such an important race, and I didn't get to practice that much. So I just arrived 10 minutes before the race and did some adjustments myself. So yeah, I mean, I was already impressed that I was only 6-7 tenths off pole in qualifying. So that was really good, I think. So looking forward to a bit of practice, and then I can fight these guys.
All right. So thanks a lot, Dani. Hopefully we will see you again this season, and good luck with your GT3 racing this year.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of fun.
Okay, so that was Dani Konzern. And now we're actually being joined by the drivers who finished on the podium of this race. And the first driver we have here, that's Jack Keithley. Jack, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
So, Jack, pole position this time, and a very, very eventful race. And please tell me through what happened at the start of the race.
At the start, well, I'd done some practice starts before and practice servers with other people, and just for some reason I just couldn't get off the line as good as other people, so I kind of had in mind if I could just not lose more than one spot, then this should be a good race for me.
And then you gained the lead back from Kevin Siggy, and then you lost the lead again, and then there was contact, and we saw it from the outside, and there were some some strong opinions voiced in the commentary chat about this move, but we didn't exactly see it from your position. So maybe you can tell us what happened from your point of view.
Well, going the straight, I knew that if most likely I defended, he would have had the better X and possibly got me, because the straight's so wide and the corner's so narrow, you just can't see. So I thought I'll let Kevin have it, and then I could do the undercut on him. And I think he saw that coming. And when I was going through turn one, I saw he was coming across, and I was trying to avoid him, and he was just really slow on the exit, and we just made contact. So I'm sorry to him for that, but I didn't think there was much else I could do at that very moment.
It certainly looks like you're one of the contenders for the championship here right now, with two very strong results, first place and the third place in the first event. So do you think you have a chance to take the title now?
I would like to think so, but honestly, it's just wait until post-race stuff, because I'm either going to be ecstatic or I'm going to be devastated one way or the other. So we'll just see what happens. And again, sorry Kevin, but I just did not. I just couldn't. He was just so slow on the exit. I just couldn't react. So yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jack, and we will see you next time again.
Yep. Thank you very much.
So that was Jack Keithley, And now we've got the second place finisher, Julian Konzern. Julian, can you hear me?
Hello, yes.
Oh, nice microphone quality this time around. Perfect. So yeah, second place, and the race was, it kind of looked like the last race that you drove. You didn't have the best qualifying, then just sitting back, being consistent and waiting for the mistakes of everyone else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. First of all, congratulations to Jack. Really, really amazing pace, and his qualified performance by him and by Mr. Rebenek was totally amazing. Yeah, I qualified fourth and yeah, tried to be consistent and waiting, like you said, for the mistakes. They happened again, and yeah, second place is really a really good result for me.
So at the end of the race, it looked for a moment as if you could challenge Jack Keithley, but then Moritz Löhner appeared in your rearview mirror and you had to defend. Did you think you had a chance to win this race?
I was struggling really hard to put the power down in out of the corners, and my exits weren't really good at the beyond the 10-minute mark. I really don't know if I could challenge Jack for the win. I think only if he did a mistake, I would have passed him.
And then on the final lap, Löhner just briefly took the position, but you had the better run for the next corner and took it back. So it got really scary in the end for you.
Yeah, you're right, but yeah, I know I had the inside for the long right-hander, and you can't pass on the outside because you have more grip on the inside at the curb. Yeah, I just defend my line and worked pretty well.
All right, so you're also one of the drivers who's currently fighting for the lead of the championship. You should be in second place at the moment with 2 second places behind Jack Keithley. So do you think you can beat him for the title here?
Like I said at the last race, I will do my very best. But yes, I have to train for the WTCC in parallel, so my pace lags a bit here. Yeah, but I will fight, and yeah, let's see.
All right, thank you very much, Julian. I'm pretty sure we will see you again during this season. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks.
So we've got one final driver left for the interviews. That's Moritz Löhner. Moritz, can you hear me?
Yes.
So great race from you, podium. And you certainly were closing up at the end of the race. Looked like you had brilliant tire wear.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I had a lot of luck at the start. Around me, all the cars went crazy, and I was able to get through to position 4, I think. Then the race was pretty much holding the gap to 2 seconds, and as they made contact in front of me, I could close the gap. And in the very last lap, I had the opportunity to attack Julian, but it didn't work out.
Still great performance from you in this race. So you're looking forward to the next race?
Yeah, Hockenheim wasn't that good from the pace, but now I see the pace is very good, and I hope I can adjust it and make a better position next time. Maybe first place or second place.
All right. Well, then good luck for you for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're wrapping up the interviews right now, and we're also going to wrap up the stream. This was the second race of the Mercedes-AMG Motorsport eRacing competition. We'll see you again from the Hungaroring, as usual, live on YouTube and Facebook. Mercedes-Benz. This was a race on Race Room Racing Experience. You can try it out yourself. You can still enter the competition. You can see the URL on your screen. So I hope you tune in next time. Once again, my name is Robert Wiesemüller. I was doing the broadcast together with Peter Ritchie Reichert. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again next time. So that's it. Bye-bye.